What's up YouTubers, and today we're going to be joined with a special guest for this video. So welcome a dear friend of mine, Ironzaku.
What's up everyone? You may remember me on my channel for doing a collab with RT Duelist on our Marvel Cinematic Universe tier list. So after that was done, he gave me the idea that I should collab with him on his video for multiple anime shows, so I thought to myself, I might as well do him a solid.
So yeah, just as Ironzaku said, we've watched a lot of anime and we've even recommended a lot to each other. Like he's recommended to me JoJo Bizarre Adventures, and what have I recommended to you?
I believe you've gave me some recommendations in the past for multiple shows. Some I may have seen, some I've not, but considering the list that we got here, it'll be very interesting to talk about some of the certain topics we have here today.
Yeah. So here's how it's going to work, guys. I went on my anime list and clicked the random button on anime that I've watched 25 times, and these 25 animes what my anime list gave me. And I gotta tell you guys, I have a feeling this website knew what we were doing, because I swear it threw me right under the bus and went back and forth for good measure. I literally am gonna.
I'm sorry, I was just about to say, I can tell this is going to be quite special.
Yeah. Yeah, so not only everyone's going to know some cringeworthy anime that I've watched, you're also going to probably be judging me for a lot of these.
I mean, to be fair, you're not the only one that might be judged.
Alright, so anyway, let's get down to it. We'll throw in a few rules. First of all, the 5 categories we've got here are, from the top, Masterpiece, an anime that we think is incredible and can do no wrong. Amazing, anime that we definitely love, but don't think it's a masterpiece, but it's still great. Good anime, we think it's good, but it's not worth praising. Watchable, anime that we watch, say we enjoy, but probably would not go and visit again, but we still thought it was amazing. And never again! An anime we do not want to see ever again. This next rule. Yeah, the next rule, if Ironzaku doesn't know any of the animes, I'll give him a basic information. I'll be giving out the information of the anime anyway. More for you watching, as there'll be a poster, name, and probably translation, and genres, if I remember to do that. So he can tell me what he thinks about, just from the synopsis. Would he watch it, and all that? Or is he hoping it's going to be amazing? And third rule, which is probably going to be a bit of a good rule if we do this more in the future. If the anime has made multiple series, we'll put them together unless those series are usually looked at in their own separate watchable. Say for example the Pokemon series. They've been, it's been a long continuous story, but a lot of people watch the individual series and rank those individual series. So we're not going to, so if we get Pokemon in the future, we're not going to combine our thoughts with all the series, so we're not going to combine Kantos with Johtos and etc.
Indeed.
But so I think that's a good rule. Plus, if it is a series that has a seasons treated as different series, like Yu-Gi-Oh to Yu-Gi-Oh GX, then of course we're going to be treating them as individuals. So why don't we jump into this tier list, guys, before my brain shuts off completely and Ironzaku has more videos to make fun of me for.
Depends, although I'm just mainly focused on doing my own content for the meantime. But anyway, also don't forget to check out my channel if it's linked in the description.
Anyway, the first anime we're going to be talking about is one I think is amazing, KonoSuba. Have you heard about KonoSuba?
I have heard of the show a bit here and there, especially with the whole memes and one-liners and the whole explosions and all that stuff.
So basically, KonoSuba is an anime about main protagonist who's a shut-in NEET who eventually dies, hence isekai, to another world with a goddess and goes on amazing adventures with a team of worst waifus in history. So again, we've got the goddess who only uses water powers, but she's stupid. We've got a mage who only uses explosion magic. And a masochist crusader.
Geez, for a goddess that has water powers, how do you mess up the title of goddess?
I know, but the fact that it's the worst waifus ever, you think it'll be terrible, but no, the series is amazing in my opinion. It's made 2 seasons, it's got a movie, and I honestly love both the Japanese and the English version. It's one of those animes that I love both, not one over the other.
Interesting.
Mm.
Because
Like,
usually, when it comes to anime shows, you usually have the fan base that always goes like, subs are better than dubs and all that.
but I think that what separates this anime to be amazing is that the voice actors apparently really get into their role and usually ad-lib a lot of their own roles. Like there's a running joke that they go after the main character, like saying his name over and over again, Kazuma Kazuma. His response is Kazuma here, or yeah, my name is Kazuma. It's just like those little lines that really get me when watching it.
Oh, indeed. So, considering how I've never seen but heard of it, where would you put it on your ranking?
Um, it's one of those shows I could think it's amazing, but the thing that puts it into masterpiece for me is the jokes themselves. It's done beautifully. The seasons are only like 10 episodes long, but it does it extremely well. You can just shut your brain off and enjoy it.
I might have to put that on my watch list for some time in the future. Who knows where this will lead me?
We'll probably watch it together. I definitely. All
Well,
right,
assuming that this whole lockdown's over.
yeah. Alright, the next anime is Sword Art Online. Now, there is Sword Art Online 2, and there's a movie, and the series is still going on, but the one Sword Art Online series I think we should not count with this one is Sword Art Online Gun Gale Online, since that's treated as its own series, as there's no returning characters with it, if that makes sense for anyone.
Oh, absolutely.
Alright, but I think for this tier list, yeah, we'll count in all the new episodes coming out. Even though I haven't seen all of the complete series, which I think we're at up to Sword Art Alicization. Anyway, have you seen Sword Art Online?
I've heard of it, and I think it's one of those shows that does have a bit of a love/hate relationship with many viewers, depending on their tastes and all.
Yeah, I think a lot of people treat it like the Marmite of anime. You love it or you hate it.
In a sense. And I always believe, if I remember correctly, the main character of the show is like so overpowered that there's literally nothing that can stop him.
Yeah, even death doesn't affect him, which is amazing. The battle scenes is one of my personal highlights. There's one particular battle in the first series that I will honestly keep rewatching just because it introduces his dual wielding. When it went to Sword Art Online 2, it was pretty good. The movie, one of my favourite rewatchable movies, and the only time I've seen Sword Art Online in Japanese. I haven't seen the series in Japanese, but the movie I jumped to see in Japanese just because I loved it.
Well, understandable.
Yeah, there is one thing that does hit for me, and I think even the creator knows it. It does have its rapey moments, which
Wait,
is
what?
yeah, it has its moments, especially to the same girl. Okay, one time.
Well,
Okay,
to be fair, I've seen worse things like Game of Thrones, so
Yeah,
oh god, we're jumping in the deep end, aren't we?
yeah. I'll admit that sometimes there's just like no point in giving it to it. It's like just assholes forcing themselves on tied up girls. I can see one point where I'm like, okay, we know this character, we know he's a jerk off, so it makes sense that he would think this woman's an object. But the other times, it's like, stop doing that! Stop doing that! It does nothing to the story. All it is just making me cringe.
I feel like with what I've been hearing, it's like it was just thrown in there just to be thrown in.
Yeah. So what do you think just from all that info?
I mean, from what I've heard, I feel like this could be a very middling show, depending on your point of view, whether you love it or hate it. Again, it's like what you said with the whole Marmite comparison. There's some things in the show that you'll like, and some that you'll definitely despise.
I think.
So where would you put it?
Between, I'm gonna say, there's a lot of things that make it amazing for me, so I like to put in amazing, but again, just because of the rapey things, it's like putting between borderline amazing or good.
I mean, no one would blame you if you put it in, like, the good tier.
Yeah, but people would blame me if I put in amazing. I'm gonna put it in good, just again, the rapey things, they put it back, but it's not shown as often as people would say. Like, I think in the first series it only appears twice on 2 separate episodes, like near the end. It's only appeared once in Sword Art Online 2. Once, I believe, in SAO, I'm going to say 3, because I forget if that's called assassination or not. But again, they're all like shown for like a minute or so, but it's probably like a minute too long. But it doesn't hold it back from being good, in my opinion. Alright, the next one is going to be an obscure one. I don't think many people have heard about this, but I remember seeing a meme of it and made me instantly want to watch it. It's called Bludgeoning Angel Dokuro-chan.
Bludgeoning Angel what?
Bludgeoning Angel Dokuro-chan. Here's a preference of it. Dokuro-chan is an angel that comes from the future to try and stop this guy who eventually finds a formula to turn all girls to permanently look like 10-year-olds. So she has to go back in time. It gets worse, but go back in time to kill him. She falls in love with him, and eventually they get into like scenarios where she literally bludgeons him, but then revives him at the same time.
I don't know how to talk about that.
But
I mean, seriously, what you told me, I mean, a guy that has a formula that can turn any girl into, like, that looks like 10 is just absolute creepy. I'm just, like, gonna say the line from, like, Princess Bubblegum from Adventure Time. No, stop, go to jail.
Okay, I will tell you this. After the first episode, he said he would never do it, but she still stays with him. It's a short series. I don't think it's even hit 10 episodes.
Yeah.
I think series 2 has only got like 4 episodes. That's it. But I'll tell you one thing that honestly makes me laugh out loud. Their halos are razor sharp, right? So if anyone touches it, their hand gets chopped apart. But if the halo's removed from the girl, guess what happens?
I don't like where this is going, but go on.
They come down with extreme diarrhea.
God, this is just insane.
It's you're not supposed to take it seriously. It's one of those comedies as well.
Right.
Even, like when he gets bludgeoned, his death is treated as a comedy, especially since he's going to get revived, like seconds after he gets bludgeoned.
So it's basically just like Dark Souls. You die and die and die, and you keep coming back.
Yeah. Alright, so from the info, what do you think about Bludgeoning Angel?
I was insanely creeped out at first. Like, what the fuck? Doesn't sound like something I would watch, personally.
So never again if it was you.
I mean, based on the synopsis you gave me, I would probably say never again.
I'm gonna put it under
where would you put it?
watchable. Because again, it's a comedy. You're not really supposed to take it seriously. Alright, we're now going to be talking about My Hero Academia. Now, at the moment of this recording, only Series 4 was finished. We've had 2 movies released, and Series 5 is in the works of getting animated. Now, I was going to say I do like the My Hero Academia series. I've played both My Hero 1 Justice game, although the second one I'm still playing. The movies I love, the manga I know what happens, and there's a lot of series that's coming up that I'm going to be tearing up for. And season 4 and 3 are like the best to me. What about you, Ironzaku? What do you feel about My Hero?
It's definitely a huge phenomenon that is very huge with many fans of the superhero genre, and I have known about it for a bit with me reading some of the early mangas and knowing a lot of the memes of the Plus Ultra and the soundtracks of You Say Run and all, which is really great.
Hmm. Have you? But you haven't seen the series yet, have you?
Not yet, but I do have a fair amount of knowledge, but I'll have to do a lot of catching up if I have the chance.
Don't worry, we'll just add it to the list of anime I gotta get you to watch. But yeah, I do know it is very loved, but I know it has a small hate fan base as well. I remember looking at one YouTube video that literally did not like My Hero Academia because how they deal with the hero system. I think that's it. But honestly, I can't find much to hate about it. I would
I
say,
mean, I was
you
just
mean
about to
what?
say sorry. I mean, to be fair, when things grow popular, they're gonna get some hate from some people regardless.
Yeah. Um, I'm actually torn between masterpiece and amazing for it. Like, yeah, it's a series I would definitely watch over and over again because it's a good hero story that's honestly I don't think really been done apart from in Disney's Sky High, considering that our main protagonist in Sky High is literally the kid of the two best parents. But I think I'm gonna put in amazing. There's a lot of scenes that do great, and it is a series that actually focuses a lot on characters. Like the one thing that the anime's done but the manga hasn't is give time to a lot of the other side characters.
Okay.
Cause yeah, like in series 2 or 3, it's one of those two. I forgot which one. Um, they had to do hero internships, and they spent an episode looking on all the side characters and seeing what they were doing for their internship. And I honestly loved that, especially since we got like a huge fan base for the frog superhero Froppy. Alright, the next anime we're going to be looking at is The Pet Girl of Sakurasou.
Never heard of
Have
it.
you heard of it? You haven't heard of it?
Never even heard of it.
No. Alright, basically it's an anime that about a school oh, I've forgotten what they're called. A school storm. There we go. A school storm. But this storm is mainly for like people who break the rules, and knowing that it's not an anime about like bad boys and bad girls. These are people who like broken small rules. Like our main character here, the reason why he's put in is because he adopted a cat. So he's kicked out of his dorm and put into this one.
A bit extreme to
And
be putting someone in the dorm for just picking up a cat, but okay.
yeah, and literally he finds this girl who's basically been a shut-in all her life, doesn't really know how to communicate and express her emotions. He finds out she's an incredible artist and wants to become a manga well, not writer, manga creator. I don't know why I couldn't think of that word.
You mean like
So
manga artist?
no, yeah, and a manga artist, yeah. So he supports her in creating it, but at the same time she doesn't know like basic social communication and social interactions. Like she'll walk around in just like a shirt and a panties. That's it.
Wait, what?
She would stand in his doorway, holding her stomach, saying, "I'm inspecting." All the girl next to him starts yelling at him, and then she says, "Food. I'm expecting food." It's just like one of those scenes that's like it's great out of context meme, and at the same time, another meme that was created that she ended up working for the shop and was in like a mascot costume. The guy was asking, "What are you doing dressed like that?" Unzips the bag and saw the back of her back. He asked, "Why are you wearing nothing underneath?" And her response is, "Don't worry, I'm wearing panties." It doesn't help at all. I still believe in the power of panties.
So she's basically wearing a suit, but technically she's naked inside it. What the fuck?
I know.
I mean, honestly, it reminds me of that one episode from In-Betweeners where Neil was in a monkey costume and he was butt-ass naked.
I know. It's like that, but you've got a girl inside. How are you supposed to react other than laugh your ass off?
Oh, God. Since I never heard or seen it, where would you put it on your list?
I think it's an anime series I would introduce to my brother, just because it has those hilarious moments of like finding, and it has good deep moments like finding yourself and accepting who you are. So I'm between good and watchable when it comes to this anime. But I'll put in watchable because it's an anime series I wouldn't jump to watch over and over again. There are better anime series to watch over and over again, in my opinion. But that one is just like, okay, I've seen it, and I'm probably not going to watch it for a long time.
What's next on our list?
Alright, the next one is an anime that I feel like I got thrown under the bus with. High School DxD.
High School DxD?
Alright, it's an anime about a zombie apocalypse, and we've got some heroes from a secondary school going around taking out monsters and trying to find some survivors and hopefully a cure for the zombie apocalypse. It's sadly a lot of people want a season 2, but it's probably never going to happen.
So basically, you have a zombie apocalypse taking place in a high school?
Yeah. It's the visual wise, it's amazing. Because literally you see them take apart the zombies, you see them shooting, and we have a legendary memes and gifs of booby shooting. It's the only way I can describe it. It's a legendary meme. He puts a gun between some girl's boobs for balance and starts shooting a rifle from it. And next thing you know, a bullet is shot between one girl's moving boobs. If that even makes sense.
I'm just trying to make sense of all that. What the fuck?
I know. It's better if you see it.
I'll probably have to see it for context later and be like, what the fuck?
Alright, so knowing that information, what do you think about High School of the Dead? Would you watch it?
Sounds nuts.
Just
in
because it's a good zombie apocalypse anime, and I do like it, even though zombie apocalypses aren't my thing. But it's a good action series, in my opinion. And of course, the fan service, top notch.
Of course.
I'm going to put in amazing, but if a series 2 does ever appear, or if we get like a continuation of the series in some shape or form, it'll probably go up to a masterpiece. You know what? No. The fan service is putting in a masterpiece.
Oh god.
Because it's like tasteful fan service. I can see it happening in real life sort of situation, if that makes sense. Alright, another one, and the next one is actually an anime that's come out recently, and I honestly have mixed feelings for both the Japanese and the English version, because I can't decide which is better, or which is the worst, or... It's called Hensuki. Are you willing to fall in love with a pervert as long as she's a cutie?
Well, so the title's basically like, are you willing to fall in love with a female pervert?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that caught me off guard. I have no idea what the hell the show is, but I'm just like, what the fuck?
I told you, my anime list threw me under the bus. I went back and forth.
Well,
this is why.
Let's get to the chase then. What is this about?
Right, but it's basically it follows this guy who wants a love life, but he's friends with 3 other girls and his sister. They all come together and help clean this club room out. Everyone goes away to put away the cleaning stuff, but he heads back to check on something. and he finds a love note for him, but no one has signed it. He also finds what he thought was a handkerchief on the table, but unfurls it and finds panties. So eventually that then turns into a story to try and find Undierella.
Undierella?
Instead of Cinderella.
Oh, my brain's overworking on the premise. What the hell is this?
And as soon as he thinks it's one girl, it turns out that she has a very unusual kink, and then thrown into a situation where he's still trying to process it, but at the same time trying to find Undierella.
Okay.
But he knows who to ask though, because there was 4 girls. One of them, which is his sister, which he first takes off. So series is just revolve around that. The plot twist at the end though, I did not see coming, but I loved it.
Right.
So what do you think from all that?
Sounds kind of an insane mystery, but considering how I never even heard or seen it, I'll leave the ranking to you.
Well, the one thing that really catches my eye is the bromance between the guy and his best friend who helps him track. Like when they're trying to get into the girl's head, they literally start doing fake female voices. So you just gotta appreciate the bromance with them getting into character and getting each other's back. That I appreciate. It's a very good comical series as well. I'm gonna put it under good. It's an anime I recommend to people who want an unusual love story and just want to be caught off guard over and over and over again. The next anime we're going to be looking at is ReZero, Starting Life in Another World. Another isekai anime.
Where I assume the guy just gets killed and thrown into this world.
Yep. It's actually finished at season 2. So have you seen this anime? Or have you heard about it?
I mean, at the very best, I kind of heard about it, but I never seen the show.
That's probably a good thing to some people. So yeah, because as you know, he dies and comes back later. So can you imagine the psychological damage that it does to him?
Again, we're doing the Dark Souls formula. You live, you die. You live, you die.
It does have some good moments because it introduced probably anime's best girl, Rem, or Amelia, depending upon who you vote, but I'm on Rem's side, the blue hair girl. Which probably means nothing to you.
I'll probably keep that in mind.
Keep it in mind. So yeah, with this ability, he tries his best to help the people around him try and save the day. Like, the first time he tried to fix his powers, the girl he falls in love with kept getting killed by an assassin, so he kept trying to figure out multiple solutions to try and save her life. In the end, he managed to, and stays with her in a giant mansion, while she tries to become, forgot the plot, I think Queen, probably? I'm not quite sure, I haven't seen season 1 in a while. But yeah, he's very embarrassing to her as well. Like, he tries so hard, but keeps coming off wrong.
Relatable.
I may as well mention he does appear in a magic world, so you get a bit of like magical vibes from the anime, and you eventually learn as well he gets his reborning powers from a witch, who apparently there's about 7, I think. I could be wrong. Around 7 all-powerful witches that have died. You get more stories about them in season 2, though. So season 1's like a setup, and season 2's like a explain sort of series, if that makes sense.
So with all that being gathered, where would you put it on your ranking? Since I never seen the anime.
Even though talking about it doesn't sound memorable, but I remember a lot of scenes in my head, and it makes it. A lot of scenes of it are amazing, in my opinion. It does take a long time. Like, the first season's like 24 episodes, I want to say, but a lot of visuals and a lot of the key story elements, like it's very good to me, and I love the anime, and I would recommend it to anyone who's okay with a bit of darkness in their anime. Alright, the next one is a Marvel one, believe it or not. Marvel's Avengers Disc Wars.
I had no idea the Avengers even had an anime.
Yeah. Well, the Avengers actually have 2 animes, but this is the one I was looking forward to the most of the 2. So, the story for this one, Iron Man has created these new prisons called discs, so you can capture anyone within these discs, but you need a special code in your body in order to unlock them. But 5 bad guys and Loki got a hold of them and started using them to capture heroes as well. Eventually, 5 kids get these codes, get limited versions of these codes. And now, partnered up with the Avengers, must go around and try and save the heroes and stop Loki.
Sounds another classical case of the heroes teaming up again against Loki.
It's only got 51 episodes, and I think for Marvels, they've done well introducing multiple heroes. They've introduced the Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man, the X-Men. It's honestly really good in my opinion.
I assume you're going to rank it highly then?
Yeah. I will though say I feel like the dub holds it back a bit. It's one of those animes I think the sub will be better than the dub. They got I think voice actors from past Marvel cartoon series is involved, but at the same time it's like it doesn't have the same feel as like an actual Marvel property. English property. It feels like the Japanese is probably a bit more better.
Alright.
So, Japanese wise, I'll put it in amazing. I mean, I'll stomach the dub if someone wants to watch it dub. But at the same time, I'm like, the Japanese version is just a little bit better. Probably because they knew that what they were doing for the Japanese. This was made for the Japanese in a sort of way. But turned English, they're not doing good translations. Alright, the next one is a cutesy one. Blend S.
Now, this is one that I've heard a lot, but only because of the opening being memed to death.
Oh yeah, the smile, sweet, sister, sophistic, surprise, service.
Cheat.
I got it, the opening is a meme, but the anime series, I actually found it adorable. It's one of those animes I think, even though I'm a man, I can appreciate it. It's all about this maid cafe, but each girl has a specific role. So our main lead one, the one we're introduced to at the beginning, her smile is like an evil smile, so it scares people, but people like that apparently. We also have a tsundere maid, a lolly maid, a big sister, and a gender bend maid.
Wait, what?
I know. Of course they're not like that outside of the maid outfits. They're all nice people. Like, the tsundere maid is actually a otaku. Who, so you get a lot of anime references with her. And there's another, and the chef of the maid is also an otaku. So they nerd out together over anime things. The lolly actually wants to be a preschool teacher. So you get her being a teacher sort of role helping the tsundere. The big sister's actually a manga writer. The surprise one, the gender bend one that is, yeah, he wants to be a girl in real life, but he still stays as a boy. So you get a lot of random moments with that. You see him run.
Indeed.
You see him run to the girls' toilets. They stop him. He remembers why, and he runs into the boys' toilets with his girl outfit on. So you see all the guys coming out going, "What the hell's going on?" It's just hilarious to me.
That's a lot to take in. What the fuck?
It's only got 12 episodes, but it is a very good comedy. So what do you think of it from that little synopsis?
I only know it based on the meme, so I'll leave the ranking to you.
You want to say you think it'll be good or not? Well, I'll put it.
I mean, I'm just saying I only know the show based on the opening meme, so I'll leave the ranking to you.
Alright. Well, it's very good in my opinion. I'm actually tied between good and amazing. I do wish it got like a season 2. But it's not really an anime that I'll like really jump to watch over, so I'll put it as good.
Fair enough.
Okay, the next anime is another one that I feel like I got thrown under the bus with. Keijo.
I wonder where this is gonna go.
Right. You know, Yuri on Ice?
Never heard of it, but go on.
Okay, that's not going to help then. Okay, Keijo. It's about girls in swimsuits
Off to a
playing
great start.
playing a sport called Keijo, where they all stand on an island in the middle of a swimming pool. The aim of the game is to knock their opponents off the island, only using their boobs and butts.
What?
And they even make special attacks as well.
It's one of those shows, isn't it?
You would think it's like full of fan service, but no, you don't see like bare breasts or bare breasts or bare butts. No, you only see them in like swimsuits.
Of course.
So your
I'm
brain's
just
now.
like laughing to myself, just like absorbing the information in.
Okay. Does it help that the 4 main characters you're watching are taking part in a school where they learn about this sport to become professionals?
Okay.
And probably the most known move, it is called the vacuum butt cannon.
Oh god, that sounds wrong out of context.
She basically goes spinning around and uses, and with her butt create like a vacuum wind attack to try and blow her opponent off. But if this attack is supercharged, it even rips swimsuits.
Of course, we're going into more uncharted territory with this, aren't we?
I did say what my anime list has done. This is why I said they threw me under the bus. So what do you think of this anime, just from the info I given you?
I don't know how to rank this, even though I've never seen it. I just don't know what to say.
Alright, you're gonna probably hate me.
You just do the honors for me.
Alright, well I will say one thing though that does annoy me. The writer of this manga got told, as soon as the series hits episode 12, to stop writing the manga. Even though I think he had multiple ideas, and I could see this becoming a popular series. For multiple reasons.
Multiple reasons.
So, don't judge me for when we're going to put it. Yeah, boy. It's just because it's amazing.
I'm just trying to absorb it. You think like a show where women in swimsuits battling out on small platforms, the butts and all, is a masterpiece.
If you've seen Yuri on Ice, a lot of people think that's a masterpiece. And you know what that anime's about? Gay ice dancers.
Okay.
A lot of people think that's a masterpiece. So I'm putting Keijo as a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece to me.
Fair enough. What's next on our list?
No Game, No Life.
I'm gonna guess you're more familiar with that one.
Yeah. Have you even heard of it before?
A bit, but not too much.
Basically, No Game, No Life is another isekai one. 2 siblings go to another world where everything's decided by games.
Okay.
So the king and queen of the world could be decided from a simple game of chess.
A bit innocent at first.
Yeah. But of course, these games are filled with magical elements, so chess could actually be fantasy chess, where the pieces are alive, so you can tell them to move normally, but they can probably do more if you can convince them more. Even turn your opponent's pieces if you wanted to.
Okay.
And of course, there's a magical word chain, so anything you say will come to life. But if it doesn't, but if it's already there, it's taken away. And that's probably one of my favourite episodes. Yeah, because you learn a bit of science from it as well, and learn how very smart our main characters are. I also gotta say, my No Game No Life is one of my favourites, and I wish it would get a season 2 already, because the manga is still going on. Is the manga still going on? I know at the time when it ended, the manga was still going on. They even, I think it was 2018, I could be wrong, they released a movie. So, hurry up and make a season 2 already. The fans are wanting it. Why aren't you making it?
I'm not sure why they're not doing a second season from your information, but for the ranking, I think I know where you're going to put it.
I'll probably put it higher than what you're thinking. I'm putting it under Masterpiece.
I was thinking of Masterpiece as well, so you fell directly for my trap.
Yeah. I'd say it's an anime I'll definitely recommend to you, especially since we're both gamers. So watching a gaming anime, it's sort of good feeling.
I'll keep it in mind for now.
Alright, the next one is actually my brother's favourite. Haven't you heard? I'm Sakamoto.
I mean, at best of this anime, I did see like some clips online of some memes. A guy that's about to take a chair away from him, but for some reason he sits perfectly even without it, which I thought was kind of humorous.
Yeah, so you have seen bits of it. So basically, the premise of the story is a student who does everything flawlessly. Everything he does is just cool, amazing. It's honestly incredible. Even all the girls love him, and all the guys just hate him. One of the things that one of the things I find funny about this series, he managed to got three guys to stop smoking, and instead blow bubbles.
How the fuck do you convince people to stop smoking just to blow bubbles?
I don't know, but it's amazing. This is why you gotta watch this series. Even one of the things I still can't believe happened. He was walking home in a rainstorm. He saw a bird struggling to fly, so he uses his brolly. He flies up in the air and catches the bird. Next thing you know, his classmates read the newspaper and they see a picture of him in the air carrying a bird.
I can probably imagine that they're very jealous at this point again.
Yeah. So I'm not going to ask you where you put it, but I want to know: would you watch it?
Potentially, maybe if I get the chance. But for now, where would you put it on your ranking?
I'd put it under amazing. Like, I can see like a lot of people watching and go like, I can't believe this is happening, and just stop watching it. I think my brother would put it under Masterpiece, and if he was watching it, he would have a go at me, saying I should have put it in Masterpiece. But I appreciate it. I'd probably watch it again. Actually, no, hearing myself, good. But it's not really like something I would jump to watch over and over again. It's hilarious, I'll laugh my ass off, but it's something I wouldn't really jump to try and watch again and again.
Oh, God, you better be ready in case someone that loves the anime goes at you for, putting it in the mid-tier.
Yeah. Alright, the next one is called The Saga of Tanya the Evil.
Why does Tanya the Evil look like a Soviet communist?
Probably because she is.
Wait, what?
The story behind this is, in our world there is a businessman who treats his job very seriously and doesn't even treat his men like men. Eventually he fires someone who literally dives off the deep end. He while he's taking the train home, the guy he fired comes and pushes him in front of a train
Ooh.
Time stops, and a god asks us if he would be reincarnated, would he learn his lesson? He said no, so he got reincarnated in a magic world as a little girl.
So basically another isekai, as they call it.
Yeah. But, even as a little girl, he/she decides to join the army and starts leading platoons. Especially a magic flying squad who basically has joined the Nazis. Understanding, considering if you know Japanese history with them joining the Nazis.
So basically just turned into World War II with magic.
And what's hilarious to me is that this guy has used his little girl's powers extremely well. Like in one episode, he's supposed to warn this town that it's going to get invaded. So he puts on this cute little girl accent and says, "We're going to be invading your forces! Evacuate now!" But no one takes it seriously.
And that's the price you get for not taking things seriously.
Honestly, it's a good war anime. I don't really watch war things, but I really enjoyed this. Just because it put that preferences and put it right on its head.
I can tell you're going to rank it fairly highly.
Yeah, amazing. I think it's got a movie out, and I would love to see a season 2 come out, just to see what Tanya will do. Alright, the next one, which became an absolute meme and loved when it was first released, is called My First Girlfriend is a Gal.
Wait, what?
So basically, you know one of those like girls in America? They're all like dye their hair. They had hashtag to everything.
Oh god, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's one of those girls. And it follows this guy who starts school. Everyone around him's got relationships, but he's so annoyed at himself because he's never had a girlfriend and he's still a virgin. So like he's desperate to lose it. And eventually his friends put a love letter in this gal's locker. And he doesn't know how to explain it to her. And eventually they go out. But throughout the anime, he's like so insecure, but he learns a lot about her, and she starts to really love him just because of the little things he does.
Yeah, that's kind of wholesome.
It's a wholesome, little ecchi. I won't say like over ecchi, but ecchi because understandable gal. But you just stay for the love story and the comedy the dub added. Like the Japanese, they were just telling a story, but the dub, they really cranked it up to 11.
Where would you put this show on your ranking again?
It's an anime I would recommend to you because they actually put in some Star Wars references. The dub has.
Okay, Star Wars references. Okay.
Like the main character asks for advice, and his friend's response is, "Advise you, I shall." I'm putting it under amazing. It's not a masterpiece just yet because there is a few problems with it, but I think the dub fixed a lot of that, and it's still something I would recommend to anyone who wants to feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
Alright, this next anime, I've got a lot to say, and I accidentally showed you a clip out of context for this one. It's called Geass no Kashu, or The Fruits of Grisaia. I could be wrong with that. My English skills is not the best. The Fruits of Grisaia. You guys are watching can help me say that. It's basically about these 5 girls whose life grew up the worst way possible, and they're trying to live their life every day. But it's only until this guy, who joined the army at a very young age, who wanted to start living a regular school life, decides to help him.
Okay. So, What was the club that you said that you showed me out of context? I was just trying to remember it a bit more.
It's when you see a girl on on the guy's bed.
Oh, I remember that. In that case, I only know it from that one clip you shared me before, so I don't know if I can add much to the show that I never seen again.
Believe it or not, that's the only ecchi time you'll ever see in this anime. The rest of the time, it's all serious. Like, I'm trying to think how to talk about it. This girl is head, as like an heir to a business, but she gets treated like an item most of the time. And all she wants to do is like live her own life. So the only way she could...
Understandable goal.
Yeah. And yeah, she's a girl. So the only way she managed to get her real life, her own life back, is by faking her own death.
Okay, that got dark really fucking quick.
I know. Like I said, it's all messed up. There's this pink-haired girl who, as a child, her parents never really got involved. Eventually on her birthday, her parents really got involved, but she, for some reason, got upset. I can't remember why. Eventually, her parents go looking for her. They find each other, but they accidentally got run over. So, this of course messed her up and said she will never disobey anyone ever again. So, she goes to school in a maid outfit and literally fulfills the requests of anyone who gives a request. Like, can you make the test go away? So she literally plans to bomb the school.
Oh.
And of course the army guy.
Damn.
So of course the army guy stops it all and helps her, and so she gets some humanity back.
Gee, I thought this was going to be one of those another typical like animes that a lot of people are familiar to, but this, damn,
No, trust me.
this got dark really quick.
Trust me, each go it goes higher and higher and higher. Even the last episode ends with the army coming in to save the school from one guy who holds 4 of the 5 girls at gunpoint. They need the army to come in and sort this one guy out. That's how dark it could become.
Holy fuck.
It then goes to a movie which talks about the army guy's backstory, like how did he become this serious, and then it continues on into season 2. The movie's only half of that story, maybe even 1/3, and they finish it off with about 1/3 of the season. The rest of the season just goes to them escaping and living out their life on an island.
Right.
That's how dark. It's that dark, but I love it because of the psychological stories. Like you continue watching because you feel sorry for these girls and you want to see them live a better life. That's why I fell in love with this series. Like when it gets dark and it actually puts me in tears.
And just like that, I'm going to place the bet that you might put this in the masterpiece tier.
Yeah, because to me it is a masterpiece, and you're going to be surprised what I'm going to say. Well, probably not. This anime has not even been dubbed.
Damn. I guess I can tell that the sub performers did extremely well with the voice acting, I guess.
Yeah, the voice acting for the sub is amazing, but I wish this anime got dubbed. I feel like this anime could speak out to a lot of people, but yet it never has been dubbed, which puts me in tears. If I could, I would fan dub this myself. I think I know a lot of female people in my life that would love to help out with the voice acting with this. Alright, the next one, Assassination Classroom.
Isn't it the one where it has that weird teacher that smiles so much?
The octopus one?
And all that. Yeah, the
yeah.
octopus one.
Please tell me you've seen it.
At best, I've heard of it. At worst, I've never seen it.
Hashtag must watch.
I get the premise that in this one, in this classroom, they have to assassinate the teacher, which is easier said than done.
Yeah. Now, what would you think of it as? Something serious or a comedy? If you had to choose.
I mean, based on the premise of how they have to kill a teacher, would it be like a blend of the both? Like, yeah, one of us has to kill this teacher, or would it be comical at times?
It's more comical than serious. The only time it's serious is like at the beginning and at the end. That's it. In the middle, it's like comedy with only a small bit of seriousness.
Oh, right, of course.
So yeah, you're right about the story. This octopus creature comes to teach E class, the lowest of the low in grades, and teaches some life lessons along the way.
While also making the students go, hey, you still need to kill me, or something.
Yeah. He's indestructible, by the way. He moves at Mach 20.
Well, if he's indestructible and moves so fast, then how the hell are they going to do the task of killing him?
You should watch the anime to find out.
Well, I probably should. But anyway, I'll leave that final ranking to you then.
The anime's amazing. There's one episode that makes me cry my eyes out. If you've seen the anime, you know which scene it is as well. So, yeah, I'm putting it under masterpiece. It can do no wrong. I love it. They tied up every loose end I could possibly find.
And I can definitely tell that next up we also now have Death Note.
Now, please tell me you've watched this.
I definitely heard and seen parts of Death Note, so I am very familiar with what happens in it.
Alright, so Death Note, the main character finds a book that whose name is ever written in it will die. I may as well say this right now. The Netflix adaptation, let's throw that out the window. That is not going to affect this Death Note.
Oh god, I only remember like that adaptation for all the wrong reasons because of how absolutely bad and botches the rules of the book that it did, I believe.
I know. If they came out and said this is gonna be like saying an alternate universe, or this is gonna be like an American version of Death Note, then yeah, I'll see it as a separate entity. But because they never did, at least I haven't heard they were doing that. I'm always cringing at anything they try and reference to the original.
I mean, the only good thing about that adaptation, I think, was that they managed to get Willem Dafoe to voice Ryuk.
Oh yeah, that was good. That was the only good part about it.
But as for the anime, well, what were your thoughts on that?
I personally loved it. I honestly really did. It was like the first dark anime that I've really watched, and really one that makes you think hard about who's going to win.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my personal favorite, like cat and mouse kind of stories where L and Light are in this endless like chase of who finds out who first and stuff. So I would definitely rank it fairly high in my opinion. Although after am I allowed to talk spoilers?
Sure, yeah.
I mean, after when L kicks the bucket, the show does kind of go down a bit.
Yeah, definitely. The only other outstanding episode after that is the final episode when Light comes out, because like he really shows then his bad guy face to everyone, and shows that he's always just been a kid at heart. So a lot of people might hate me then for where I'm going to put this.
Choose wisely.
Amazing.
I'm gonna put I'll let you slide with this one because in fact I do think it's an amazing show as well.
Yeah, it's amazing, but me personally, I don't really think it's like that much of a masterpiece. I think they probably took it too long, in my opinion. It went on for way too long. But like you said, the end part's like not good compared to the L storyline.
So they had to kill him off. Like, why?
I mean, it's different though if you watch a live action Japanese Death Note where L survives. The story ends completely differently, which I appreciate a lot. So it's like you can watch the anime version where this happens, or watch the live action version where this happens. So I appreciate that. I actually prefer the live action better than the anime. You all can hate me in the comment section below. Alright, the next one is another throw under the bus. Highschool DxD.
I can remember you like showing me clips of it in the past, and I was just thinking to myself, it's basically porn, isn't it?
Yes and no. Because there's a lot of good action in it, and I do like the storyline of it all. And I can see why the girls will like him. I mean, come on, he has the dragon power. What girl does not like a guy with dragon power?
So I assume he assembles a huge harem from the looks of it.
Well, yeah, Issei's dream is to become the harem king, which I think over time his dream then changed.
In what manner?
Well, if you see in season 4, he starts admitting that he does like someone and wants to be with her.
So
I'm not
he
gonna
evolves
say.
from so he evolves from a harem hunter to a true gentleman, from the sounds of it.
I mean, he is like in a way sort of being a gentleman at the beginning for like one girl, but he then somehow ends up in these situations out of his control. It's not like he tells the girls to do it; it just happens. In sort of like they do bring up one big thing for the main character happened in season 3 and 4, which I completely gloss over. But looking back, I feel like I should have noticed it. Because during the first episode, he does end up with his first girlfriend, who of course ends up kills him. Which we learn later on, it did affect how he sees the girls. And how he actually hasn't been opening it up fully to them. Just because of that first girlfriend. Which, understandable. If your first partner was someone who would backstab you or kill you, you just wouldn't feel confident going on another date, would you?
Oh, absolutely. Since you are way more familiar with this show, I'll leave the ranking to you.
Well, but when I first started watching this, I did like the etchiness and I did like the action. But watching back, I somehow end up bursting out laughing like, I can't believe this is happening. I can't stop laughing. So I'm actually tied between amazing and masterpiece. I do hear season 5 is coming. And season 4 did change the art style from sharp to soft. But the thing that really pulls it off for me to put in masterpiece is the action and the interactions with the girls. It does a good balance with them. It doesn't go one side more than the other. It finds a good balance for me.
You're putting it in masterpiece because they're extra thick, aren't they?
I'm not gonna say.
I knew it.
Alright, next one. Code Geass.
Lelouch of the Rebellion.
Yep. Have you seen it?
I've seen clips of it here and there, but I do know the premise to a degree.
Yep. It has 2 seasons and a movie that takes place after the series, which I personally enjoyed.
Well, I do like the idea of how the main character in the show does have this power where he can just like stare someone in the eye and give them commands to do something to his will, and how he's going to be like living both sides as this like vigilante and stuff. I believe. What was his alter ego's name again? Where he's in the costume?
Zero.
Oh, Zero. Yeah, of course. It's because it's been a while since I've ever heard of the show. And the conflict going on with the fact that going on with Britannia and Japan. I believe that's what's been going on in the story.
Yeah. This series is actually so fresh in my mind because I watched it last year. It's a good anime and I love it. It definitely, it's like on par with Death Note psychological wise, because it's like calculative for how he's going to sort out this problem and how is he going to use his mind altering ability, considering he can only use it on a person once.
So I take it we're both going to rank it highly?
Yeah, I would. It's an anime, I'm going to put it under amazing. Mainly because how it wraps up and how the true enemy's been in the shadows this entire time. If that makes sense. And the series, and of course when they take out this final enemy, that scene is amazing to me. I watch it over and over again because it shows who the true enemy is, and it's an event where enemies have to become friends to take out this true enemy.
Oh, it's one of those plots then, I guess.
The next anime is an anime I watched when I was 6 years old, and I didn't know until recently it was an anime. Cubix, robots are for everyone.
For some reason, I can remember the name because I remember seeing like a little bit of it here and there when I was very young as well on television, but I'm not too sure what's it all about again.
It revolves around our main character who eventually moves into Bubble Town, a town where they have as many robots as people. Robots and people live together in harmony, and of course you have a bad guy who tries to collect the essence of uncontrollable robots known as Soul X, like the souls of the excess soul energy of the robots, to try and revive his master, an alien creature, I would say, or gives this alien creature a giant robot. And it's basically up to Connor and his robot Cubix to save the day.
Definitely is familiar with one of those kinds of stories, then, isn't it?
And what's good about Cubix is he's made up of multiple blocks, so he can convert into a lot of things, from a hover chair to a platform to multiple other things as well, which I honestly enjoy. So if he's in a terrible situation and he needs to get out, he just breaks himself apart and he can leave.
Impressive.
So
I think you would. Is it still in your memory, this show?
I'm putting in good. Like, of course, anime got better over time, but I'm still going to hold Cubix in high regard because it's one of the first animes I've ever seen.
Yeah, you know, it might be one as well that I might have seen for the first time as an anime. Although I might have to dig deep again just to see if I can find clips in that again, just to remember.
I remember watching this on CBBC and I fell in love with it. I think I've watched this before Pokemon, of all things. And I was surprised that CBBC had the guts to get an anime and treat it like a regular cartoon alongside like classics like Basil Brush.
Although, isn't Cubix more CGI than a typical anime?
Yeah, true. It's CGI anime.
Oh, it's one of those CGI animes.
The next anime, guys, I think is the last isekai anime of the lot. OverLord.
Oh, I'm definitely familiar with this one.
Oh, good. So for those who don't know, OverLord is a game isekai. A player was playing his favourite game when the server was going to close, but he ended up instead getting transported into the game. So, what do you think about OverLord?
Well, from some of the clips and things I've heard about it, it's definitely a lot better than some isekais. Although the one thing that does kind of put me off about the show is how rough the CGI can be at times.
True, I gotta admit the CGI can be sort of rough, but I don't think they go overboard with the CGI. The main CGI I remember was at the end of season 3 when he summoned those giant sheep monsters.
Sheep monsters.
Yeah, I'm calling them sheep monsters because they do. Nah. I'm not kidding. That's literally the noise they make. Season 2 did move a bit slow for me though at the beginning. Like, I had no idea what was going on until Ainz finally appeared to explain what's happening. But season 1 is a big standout for me because he's trying to figure out what the world is and gathering information. Even the final battle in season 1, where a teammate of his gets brainwashed and he has to fight her, I mean. It's beautiful to me.
Well, I guess that we're gonna put this highly up on the list.
Definitely. I don't know whether though to put in masterpiece or amazing.
I would probably put it in amazing due to the fact that, again, it can be a bit of a slow burn with filler plot points, and again, the CGI being very rough.
Okay, yeah, I'll agree with you there and put it in amazing. But there is a lot of things about OverLord I do love, and if it ever makes season 4, I will definitely watch it because season 3, a lot of people hated the end of season 3, so I think to redeem it, they should put it in put a season 4 in.
Oh, absolutely. Although, for the next anime, we're going to talk a lot about because I seen the entirety of season 1 and I love it, and that is One Punch Man.
I have to agree with you. One Punch Man is truly spectacular. It's actually an anime.
It's definitely one of those shows I could say to you that I have seen and watched many times, and it is really, really good. But that's just based on my impression of season 1, because I heard like series 2 was a bit rough.
I'll gotta admit, they changed the animation for season 2. I think that's because they changed studios. Because I remember the original studio One Punch Man was under. They're more known to do one season and that's it. They don't do second series and all that. Which did upset a lot of fans, but luckily the manga was continuing, so there was hope for season 2 to eventually come out. I know a lot of people bash on it though, season 2. It's not as good as season 1 because of the animation alone. But if you just ignore that little hypocrite, it's actually really good.
I might check that out down the line, but for now, since we're still talking about season 1, I will say that one of my favorite things about season 1 of One Punch Man is the fact that the show's like not afraid to make fun of itself.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you have this guy that is like trained so hard, lost his hair, and could beat nearly everyone in One Punch. And you'd think with him being overpowered that he can't be relatable because of the fact that he can just swipe away his problems with One Punch, which for the most time he does. But what makes Saitama work is the fact that outside of being a superhero, he's just an everyday guy.
I know.
Like he goes shopping, he does this and that, and his apartment is not very big, and so on. And when he does like some tests and all, he does fail on the written test, which definitely shows a flaw that he's not the best, even though he excelled at every other test.
I do though find his hero name a bit ironic, the Cape Baldy. I think One Punch Man would just be better. But then again, in that world, the Hero Association is run by the government, so you're not supposed to expect anything amazing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
To come
and
from
I'll
the
probably...
government.
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, that was it. You can't expect anything amazing from the government's naming.
Oh, fine. What I will end about this is that the animation in the fight sequences is absolutely great, and the soundtrack is absolute kick-ass.
Right, so I'm
and
pretty sure
surprisingly... Can we put it on Masterpiece, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, put it on Masterpiece.
Yeah. Agreed. It is a masterpiece.
I love this show.
See, for season 1 alone, I know a lot of people debate season 2, but even I think season 2 is a masterpiece just because of how they introduce more characters around his life and how it introduces the League of Monsters. Come on, season 3 is going to be spectacular because it's going to be an all-out monster versus hero showdown. How can you not like that?
I mean, I'm looking forward to that. I'm just hoping that the studio remains like a lot more consistent with the animation. That was a bit rough in season 2, but we'll see what happens.
Alright, the next anime I think a lot of people could find relatable in a cringy way possible. It's known as Love, Chunibyo and Other Delusions.
What's the premise for this one that I never heard of?
Alright, for those of you who don't know what Chunibyo is, it's also known as the Year 9 Syndrome, where you basically at that age where you start to turn away from like role playing, so like pretending you're Power Rangers and getting blown up, or pretending you're from Harry Potter and doing magic. It's that sort of age, but people still do it, so it's cringy as hell. And this guy who stops being a Chunibyo eventually finds himself entangled with this girl who still thinks she possesses the eye of the Wicked Lord, so she wears an eye patch and a contact lens underneath it to change her eye golden, who does like his imaginary battles and has roller skates in her shoes. Now that is just cool. Eventually it turns into a love story where they accept each other's differences, and yeah, it's just amazing. It's a great love story, and I just love it for the love story alone and the message: be yourself and you're bound to find someone that will love you for it.
So I'm assuming you got to put it in the amazing tier?
No, actually. I'm not going to put it in amazing just because of that love story alone. Like I said, it's cringy. Just because of that. True, they'll add in the imaginations of what they see in their mind's eye, like them shooting explosions and all that, but I'm actually going to put it in good. It's got 2 series. it has a movie finale, but at the same time, it's just like, oh dear Lord, how is this going to affect the long run? How is she going to live a normal life if she keeps thinking that she possesses the eye of the Wicked Lord? You know?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. And finally, because my anime list hates me and wants to see us suffer, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to enjoy this, Boku no Pico.
I mean, I've heard of it, but for all the wrong reasons as well. Because you mind me talking out about it?
I'd rather not. I think
No,
I
I mean, I'm not going to say anything because of the fact that I know the show is basically jailbait. Because the only thing I've heard about is that one YouTuber that I follow, PewDiePie.
Yeah.
He did a video on it, and oh my god, it's just. I mean, yeah, it's just jailbait the show. Just put it in Never Again.
Yeah, never again, never. I remember. I don't even want to mention this. I got tricked into watching it.
How did you get tricked into watching it?
This was back when I first started watching anime. No one told me about Boku no Pico. So they just went like, oh, if you like good love stories, Boku no Pico's then for you. It's an amazing love story. I went, okay, I'll give it a try. Oh no! There's the butts! No! Oh, the sister's pretty cute. Oh, not again!
Again, that's just by description. It's just jailbait the show.
Exactly.
I mean, thank God I never seen it because I saw someone else go through clips of reactions again with PewDiePie. But I can definitely tell you that someone who watches, for people that watch it, you're probably on someone's FBI's watch list.
It's either that, or you just really love to see two guys who look like girls having fun. That's the only way I can start.
Let's just end it here.
Let's end the suffering. Let's end the suffering. And that's it from our tier list, everyone. I think we made an amazing tier list, especially since we were talking about our anime. Even though you did not know a lot of these anime, you listened to the synopsis and you gave your thoughts about
the best I could. Yeah, I mean, for most of them, I never even seen or heard. The only ones that I was familiar again was with One Punch Man and the such.
But to be fair, from this tier list, which anime would you like to jump in and watch?
Obviously just One Punch Man.
Okay, from the anime that you had no idea about, which one would you dive into to watch, just from what you've learnt today?
I guess I would have to probably, based on memory alone, I would probably say I would jump into KonoSuba because I heard it's really funny.
Yeah! We'll watch it together and I'll make you laugh your ass off.
When quarantine is over.
So that's it for this video, guys. I'd like to thank Ironzaku again for joining me in this video. And if you want to see us do another collab, go onto his channel where you see us do a MCU tier collab video. I had a lot of fun giving my points of view, and I was interested to hear his point of view as one we did here. So that's it for this video, guys. I'm going to set up a private watch to put on KonoSuba, so he has to watch it no matter what, with a secret follow-up to all the other anime that he found cringy. So until next time, guys, this is us signing out. Bye-bye.
Signing out. God help us.